Greetings, fellow nerds. Welcome to another MTG NerdPhil video where we are doing some Strixhaven standard. We're making some fun, awesome, creative decks here, putting them in the standard rank ladder. So if you want to see more stuff like that, be sure to hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and hit that notification bell so you have easier time finding me in the future. And so you can participate in Fan Submission Fridays. We actually have a deck upcoming for this Friday that features a subscriber's deck. And if you want to see your deck on this channel as well every Friday, just be sure to drop an Aether Hub link or copy and paste an entire deck list down below, and your deck will get featured on a Friday. So I would love to see what you guys are cooking up, and you can totally troll me as well. I don't have a preference, whatever you guys want me to do. So question of the day: which card in Strixhaven has surprised you the most, whether it's in standard, limited, commander, you name it? Just I think a lot of people are talking about, especially online, about the plant dog. It's 2 mana. I forget the name, it escapes me, but it's a 5/4, and you can it comes into play for by sacrificing another creature or by paying 3 extra mana. So it's good in a lot of situations, especially for limited. I'm actually gonna show you a card that I think has surprised me a little bit when I was kind of creating this deck and playtesting it a little bit. So we're playing Boros or Lorehold Spirits. So let me show you what we're working with. So Usher of the Fallen. I'm playing a full set this time around just because it's good against control, it's cheap, it's aggressive, and has a great boast ability. So Make Your Mark is a surprising, this is the surprising card I was talking about. I'm playing 2 copies because it's a little bit like more of a protection spell, but it's not like a, well, it's more of like a try to get something back when your creatures die. So target creature gets +1/+0, which is fine. Can make some decent trades perhaps. But the great part is you get a 3/2 red spirit that comes back to the battlefield. So I think that's pretty solid. So, and then 3 Clarion Spirits if we're playing a lot of low end stuff. Blood Age General to make our aggressive creatures even more aggressive. Scorching Dragon for the removal. Vanishing Light for the removal. Skyclave Apparition for the removal. And of course playing full set of Skyclave Apparition. Bone Crusher Giant, which I know is not a spirit, but it's too good to pass up, honestly. It's just a fantastic card. Comes back as a big creature. Hard to say no. So I'm trying out Venerable Warsinger because if it does damage, we get to bring most of our stuff back. So it's just too good to pass up, honestly. Vigilance, Trample, those are pretty solid keywords as well. And then 2 Hoffreys, which is an Anthem effect for our spirits, gives them Trample and Haste. Trample part doesn't really matter all that much, but the Haste does actually. So that's pretty important. And then we get to create a copy. So Bone Crusher is kind of like a spirit because it comes back as a spirit. So yeah. For full set of Embercleave because we're aggressive, and then 2 Stars Smashing, 3 Castle Undervale, 6 Plains, 5 Mountains, 4 Pathways, and 4 Fabled Passage. And you might be asking, why the heck are you not playing Rally the Ranks? And this deck needs a good balance of removal and creatures, and playing too many non-creature spells can really hamper this deck. And at the end of the day, this deck doesn't need an Anthem effect to win the game because you're removing a lot of stuff, you're being aggressive early on. So I just decided, you know, I don't think I need it. I really don't think I need it. I could be wrong, but I've tried it out with both. And the problem with not having creatures, it means that this deck is just kind of sitting there, right? It doesn't do a whole lot. So wow, iWitch is here. That's actually kind of unfortunate because they get to make a solid trade. And they get a card, which is pretty nuts. Yeah, iWitch is a solid card, and I know that is making a feature for the Fan Submission Friday. So again, you want to participate in Fan Submission Fridays, all you have to do is drop an Aether Hub link or copy and paste the entire deck list down below. So this kind of sucks, honestly. iWitch is just a fantastic card to get a sorcery back, so which is a solid card, right? They get to, you know, ensure that they're not mana screwed. So they got a lot of good stuff going for them right now. But I think we'll be okay. So they're not doing anything. That's kind of sus. So that actually makes my turn 3 kind of crappy. So I've drawn 2 copies of Embercleave. Not supposed to happen. So again, we're already kind of suffering here, even though we are playing lots of non-creature spells. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove this guy, and he can chump block and gain the life. That's fine with me. He doesn't even jump block, so that's interesting. So I need to draw a red source here to get Embercleave going, and then to kind of just jumpstart our way to victory, right? Doesn't even attack, so I didn't draw a red source, which is fine, because we do have the Banishing Light. So this is something you're gonna see fairly common on this channel. Like, I actually have it evenly split between red and white mana, and I'm getting the opposite of, I'm not getting an even split. So, but I know that happens to you guys as well. So I like to show you what's really happening. I don't make any edits. I don't try to fibble anything. I just show you the games as is, right? Ooh, Make Your Mark makes an appearance here, which is actually pretty important. So I'm gonna go ahead, remove Timuret here. We're gonna just get as aggressive as we can. We have Make Your Mark, which can be a good protection spell actually, so this might actually not be a bad thing that's happening here. Okay, sure, no problem. So I would love to draw a red source, but the odds of that happening are, okay, I was gonna say pretty low, but we got lucky here. I mean, that was all skill. Okay. Alright, so we are gonna Embercleave here, and I'm pretty sure I'm running into a removal spell, but at least I get to kind of make a decision perhaps after? He says Z. Interesting. Oh, is he saying Z because it's boring? I mean, I've created a Boros Spirit deck. Like, it's not like super meta or anything. It's just Embercleave's such a good card. So he looks like he has the case of being flooded, perhaps? I don't know if he was saying Z as in like that's lame. I'm like, I'm making a Boros Spirits deck, dude. Like, it's not like super meta, it's just creative and fun. It's just follows kind of the standard formula of, you know, it's creatures, aggressive, you're in red, Embercleave. Until oh my gosh, what is that set? Until whatever set that's for. Why is it escaping me? Until the set rotates, Embercleave is here to stay, so I don't know why it's escaping me. Throne of Eldraine, my goodness, my goodness. A classic case of, I'm recording this on Monday, classic case of the Monday farts. So I'm actually finishing my internship up this week, so I'm actually going to try and start streaming next week. That's kind of the goal. I'm asking for friends for a couple help. Tries to get a little started. I'm actually going to play the Clarion here. So I'm asking for friends for a couple help, cashing in a couple favors. Well, not favors, they're just good friends. But, oh, nice. Okay, we're going to play against Prismari here. So I'm going to go ahead and search for a red here, because we're mostly red heavy and Embercleave is double red. And I'll just go ahead and play the general. So that's why I know playing a full set of failed passage is quote-unquote the right answer. Doesn't always feel like it sometimes, especially when you're like that far behind, but So if he plays Bone Crusher here, oh, it looks like he has another Bone Crusher for our creature, which is like fine. Oh, wow, Prismari Command is a fantastic card. Huh. Wow, that's a good card, honestly. I might... I think I'm gonna make a Prismari like dragons deck because there's a lot of like cool dragons. So as as predicted, we were not gonna draw a land here. We're still like in it. I would have loved to draw a land just for the Make Your Mark, but it's actually gonna be super important to hopefully get this guy surviving and attacking next turn. Even if it's a trade, it's fine. I actually don't know what this guy does straight up. So he gets the instant for any number. Oh, whoa. Wait, that's actually insane. Huh. Okay. I guess well, he has vigilance, so that's actually super important. Okay. So, here's the cool stuff here. get to do this, and then get to do this. Check that out. Wait, why is it telling me? Oh, this guy is insane. Wait, oh no, I've made a huge mistake. I didn't know that's what Ward did. What? Wait, this guy's kind of busted. Huh. Alright, I've made a mistake officially. I'm gonna scoop here because I didn't know what Ward did. I should read cards. Wait, this guy's actually straight up insane though. Oh, I'm excited to make a Prismari deck. So, what did we learn today? Read cards and magic. I have a really bad habit of not doing that straight up, not gonna lie. Oh, we got the Prismari very expensive instant, which I will probably never use because it's way too expensive. But I'm gonna make like a Prismari Dragon deck because the Elder Dragon is like actually super cheap. Because it's 4 mana. Like, he is probably the most efficient Elder Dragon that's come out. And his effect is like insanely good. So I'm like, well, clearly there's a clear winner here. Like, I was looking at it and went, well, I mean, obviously the Prismari one's the best one, right? Like, he's the cheapest. He's got a good effect. Like, pretty good stats all around. Like, yeah, how do we say no to that? Okay. So we've got probably one of the best starts we'll ever get in this deck. So ignore the last match. That, your Men in Black, pew, no longer there. Alright. Okay, so he has stuff. That's important to note. I'm gonna go ahead and just attack. I'm just gonna play the Bone Crusher Giant. I mean, so it looks like we're playing against a Quandrix School, which is this is cool. I like seeing standard in this mode of like people experimenting, people trying out different things. It's gonna be really important and really healthy for the meta. And then we'll see what kind of sticks, of course. That's gonna be very important. But yeah. So as you can see, this deck can function without the need of Rally the Ranks. Kind of depending on your playstyle, choose whatever fits your playstyle. Maybe you don't feel like you don't need the Scorching Dragonfire, or maybe you don't even feel like you need the Ember Cleave, and you want, I'm so sorry, you want your creatures to have the Anthem effect. Go for it. Whatever suits your boat. I just feel the need to have removal spell, especially in a best of 1, right? That's kind of where the difference is at the end of the day. If this was a best of 3, I'd probably put Rally the Ranks instead of Scorching Dragonfire. But I'm here to, I think most of you like best of 1 on Arena. I like best of 3 in person, best of 1 in Arena. That's just me, but yeah. So, oh, we like that. I'll go ahead and do this now. So I'm actually going to go ahead and get a red mana. Okay. He does have to counter this, otherwise he straight up loses, I think. 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, he will lose if he doesn't counter this. Okay. He is still not countering it. Now he has to bounce the Bone Crusher Giant, which is fine. And did he just lose? I think he just lost. I don't know what deck we were playing against, to be quite frankly honest, but we just won. Yeah, again, this is like one of our best starts. This is a very aggressive, like, if you don't do something now, you are going to die start. And we still had the flexibility of playing the Skyclave Apparition or the Bone Crusher Giant as mana, as a stomp part if we felt like they were playing creatures. I decided to get very risky there because it just would force them to use cards and force them to not draw potentially, especially as a Simic or as a Soul Tide deck. So I'm not sure what we're playing against, but I'm gonna go ahead and keep. It's actually pretty reasonable. I would love to play the Bloodjade General, but we'll kind of see what our draw is here. Again, Fable Passage, great card, but sometimes it can hamper your deck, so you have to be a little careful. In this case, it kind of worked out, but I just can't play the Bloodjade General. when I want to, and that's okay. Blood Age General is pretty important though. I mean, 2/2 for that kind of ability is pretty solid, and we got very fortunate there. So I'm actually gonna go ahead. So is this cycling? It's not cycling. Is this another Prismari Jeskai deck that's happening? Very curious. Nope, it's a 4-color. I have no idea what is happening. Okay. Okay. It's that kind of deck. All right. That is fine. We'll go ahead and search for a red with a potential Embercleave here. I'm gonna boast here. Yeah, they might lose. Again, another crazy aggressive start with this deck, so we might have time for like a 4th and 5th game, which is kind of rare, but let's see. Alright, so we did draw a land. Not exactly what I wanted to draw, but it worked out in this case. So in this case, I do attack with everybody. I don't use the... because I don't want him to chump block for free at the end of the day. And then next turn, I can actually not attack with the Blood Age General and then use his effect. Because at that point, it'll actually be more efficient, perhaps, because my creatures will punch a little bit harder. So I think this game is ours. Our opponent got mana screwed too, so... But honestly, this was this was an extremely aggressive start, and Skyclave Apparition acting as a removal on a body, really important. So that looks like that was a Simic or 4-color Mutate. I don't know what we were playing against, but so let's get it for like one more game here. Yeah, so this deck, I love it. It's right up my alley. I don't play a lot of control. It's not really my playstyle, but with Prismari and we're gonna go ahead and keep this. With Prismari and Quandrix out, I will be playing a little bit more of that style. I do play like control-esque with creatures. Like I played a Simic Mutate, but with a lot of like counter spells, so it's like a really unexpected, like he's not playing creatures, aha, he's playing negate, stuff like that. So that's just more kind of my alley. So this will actually be a good test run of this deck. I think we're playing against mono white with snow. So this will be a good test run to see how this deck does, right? Okay. I would be happy to make the trade here. Yep. That's an easy trade for me. Because this guy can protect creatures and I'm not always guaranteed to... I'm going to go ahead and remove. I'm not guaranteed to always trigger his effect. So I think in the long run, my creature actually trading was worth it. Playing Daxos, it's fine. And he's mana screwed, so that's actually pretty important here. Because next turn I can actually straight up Embercleave. So he draw the loon. He did draw the land. So perhaps we will draw a non-creature spell. Because he drew the land. So kind of fair payoff, right? Blue Monarch Aspirant coming in. What a surprise. Puts it... Oh, goodness. Okay. Lots of things happening here. Lots of things happening. I am not going to block, to no one's surprise. Okay. Whew. So he got a very good start. I can see why he would have kept that. I probably would have too. So we did draw a land. No surprise there, honestly. Okay. So I'm going to kind of just offer it up, I suppose. Okay. So we do get the Embercleave. We're getting it for 6, which is nice, but something tells me that unfortunately we drew too many lands once again. So right, so the randomizer happens like that, right? The last 2 games our opponents got mana screwed. Now we're getting flooded. You know, we drew 2 creatures this entire game. Like stuff like that is gonna happen, right? Okay, so we're getting punched for 6 here. Actually, we're gonna get punched for 8. So, oof. All right, so this is a big deal, right? Because I actually can't block the 6 in the air. So I'm actually losing this battle. So even though we had more lands, we're gonna lose because we drew too many lands at the end of the day, right? So what can you do? At the end of the day, what can you do? You're gonna have to just kind of go with the flow and, you know, just kind of work with what Arena gives you. All right, and this is also why I would be playing like Vanishing Lights as well. Okay, so 7, 8. So we actually lose because it's, you put the 2 counters in the air, everyone attacks, we lose. So mono white has always been a very heavy meta deck. It hasn't required any changes, even because it doesn't play with the meta, it plays with itself, if that makes sense. I'm gonna get in for one more game here. It's very much like, do you have the right cards to just kind of punch through and win the game, right? You don't really need to care about what the opponent is doing for the most part. I'm gonna go ahead and keep this. I know it's very risky, but we're on the draw, so I feel confident at least, and we can play multiple things, so perfect. So we got what we needed, so we should be able to function pretty all right here. Thieves Guild Enforcer. Oh, we're playing against rogues. Okay, so got rid of 2 lands. That's actually fine for me. This will be a great test run. He's not playing Laura, so I do have to watch out for what's his face. I used him a lot when I was playing rogue, so I don't know why I'm struggling with the name, but the guy who steals our stuff. And he stole a lot of good stuff, but nothing like crucial. I'm willing to offer up the trade here. So I'm actually going to Scorching Dragonfire, painful as it is. Don't want to really use it on the Thieves Guild Enforcer, but 2 Thieves Guild Enforcer right off the bat, that's I'm going to get milled way too fast. Alright, so I just can't let that happen, unfortunately. Looks like he has a removal spell. Bloodchief Thirst, very common. Gets in here. Okay, so this is actually fine. Because we get to do a couple things here to help us out. So first thing I'm going to do is play this. I'm actually going to remove the Thought Thief because that I can't remove. Or that I can't block. So the Mr. Steal your stuff from your graveyard will come in and steal our stuff, right? So I would be willing to offer up the trade here. Oh, he plays Nighthawk Scavenger. That's actually super interesting. That's not... I'll offer up the trade here. It's not something I would expect. So if we draw a Vanishing Light, we would be in solid position. We don't, which is fine. But we do have something that can block the Nighthawk Scavenger, which is pretty solid. I think we might lose on the Attrition War, unfortunately. I don't know if I can take 6, honestly. That's kind of insane. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead. I don't think I can take 6. I have to wait for my removal spell to come in. And then hopefully we can just kind of do something there. So luckily our Clarion Spirit has been literally saving us, if you think about it. I'm going to attack with him. He's not any good as a blocker, so... unfortunately, we don't have our second red as for Embercleave. Not that I honestly would. I am looking for a Banishing Light. So... we're going to lose against another heavy meta deck. Which is fine. It's not the worst. It's going to be expected, right? Some decks haven't changed because they don't interact with the opponent. They very much just care about what they're doing, right? They're not looking at the opponent as much, right? They're playing Bloodchief Thirst, which is like a removal spell. That's fine. That's not like that kind of cares, but it's a card that almost every deck kind of includes just because it's that good. Okay, so we are going to lose here. So any changes I would make. Probably I don't need 4 copies of Embercleave because we drew them a lot. So maybe 3 copies is what we need. Rally the Ranks, still not needed in my opinion. So maybe more copies of removal spells. So like Glass Casket might be another card we're looking at. We didn't draw any of our score, or we did draw a Scorching of Dragon Fires, but using it on the guy who keeps milling us is the correct answer, because we can't get milled for 4 for every creature they play. Like, that's just, you don't win those kind of wars, unfortunately. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm going to make more fun creative decks like this in the future. We unfortunately did not get to see our Boros, our Spirit Lord, come into play, so maybe that's something to consider, right? Maybe dropping the number of Emerald Cleaves, maybe upping him to 2, lots of other stuff. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Be sure to hit those buttons down below once again. And then right now up top, YouTube is showing a video of my most recent upload. And then right below that is a video that YouTube thinks you specifically like. Probably a deck you haven't seen me play. So go ahead, check those videos out. It really helps me explore the channel. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you for your next NerdPhil.